seen Spider-Man die. You know, I never seen him.
Here we go.
Yeah.
YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner.
Hey.
It's the Just Us League here for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse spoiler-free movie review.
Spoiler-free, baby.
Spoiler-free. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this film after all of the reviews and hype. But first, we need to do introductions. To my left, HT3 the dark side, bruh. HT3, honey.
What's up, man? What's going on with y'all?
I'm good. I'm Jody Joe, repping that Superman status. And to my right is Marvin X-Files, aka The Question. Dad turban on as if he coaches. Salam shalom. The Question.
Yeah, it's your boy Mr. Sexy. You already know what it is, man. Yeah.
All right, and moving on from that, we got my man E, aka Green Arrow, saving the city one block at a time.
What's up, YouTube land? How you guys doing? Hope everybody's day is going well. That's all I got.
Okay, so so we're back. Movie review: Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh my god.
So synopsis, real quick. So basically, this is a story about Miles Morales, a black and Latino character who has a father who's a policeman, who is in the charter school, and who automatically becomes a part of the Spider-Verse by getting bitten by its own radioactive spider and getting his own powers. And then something happens with a certain villain and collides a multiverse, and a lot of other Spider-Men enter the film. And then Miles has to figure out how to get all these different Spider-Man and Spider characters back to their universe while saving the day and figuring out what it's like to be a hero. Would you agree with that shit?
Yes, I would.
All right, so now that we got that under wraps, let's talk about this real quick. Just free thought. Say what's on your mind. Who wants to go first?
E?
E?
I guess I got to E. All right. What I liked about this film is like when it first started, it was cool. You know, it started off like, you know, showing about Spider-Man, telling the story or whatever about Miles and everything that's, you know, that was going on and stuff. And I saw that, bruh. I saw the eyes, bruh.
Bruh, this freak. He's paranoid.
Yeah.
It's full on paranoia now.
Hey, you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
For sure. Okay.
Hey, I saw that too.
Wow, we didn't even do nothing. We just turned our head and looking. My nigga.
Hey, we just go to camera one, bro. That's all we doing, man.
We just went to camera. With the hype of this film, I was very hyped in this shit. The reviews, it had a lot of good reviews, man. You know, people are pro Spider-Man, and a lot of people, most people in this world are pro Spider-Man. It's a few people out there that's I hate Spider-Man. Spider-Man's weak and trash. You know, most people love him.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm one of them. You know, I'm a major Spider-Man fan. So getting this guy on screen, even though it wasn't Peter Parker, he wasn't the main character, the main Spider-Man. Even though it wasn't live action, it was CGI animated. I was still pretty hyped to go see this film. This film was fast paced in some parts.
I agree with that.
I felt things were rushed. It was certain scenes where he said something, and then one guy was like, "Okay, sure, do this," and you would think, "Okay, you just met this person.
Yeah.
You know, you want to know a little more about this person. Don't just dive into some shit, you know, to some committed shit."
There's nothing wrong with asking why.
Yeah, you know, so the plot was rushed, but as far as the action goes, the action was litty to the titty.
No shit.
The action was fire.
Flame.
It was some characters that I was kind of worried about that would seem kind of corny, but at the end they were tight. You know, and I feel that this movie it wouldn't suffer from the Spider-Man fatigue that some people said that they have. We have a lot of movies of Spider-Man, and I feel that I'm still not fatigued with Spider-Man because they always come out with something new. You know, wow, they see him
Oh, I'm tired. I'm just a little bit tired, bro.
You lying nigga,
I'm just a little bit tired, bro. I'm just.
This was a new take on Spider-Man movie wise. I wouldn't say I was disappointed in certain villains, but certain villains they seem too monotone. They seem too one note. You know,
copy and paste.
Yeah, I wanted to see some layers peeled away from certain villains, and I didn't get that. The video was very bright and colorful. Yeah. Unfortunately, we seen the movie, and in some parts it kind of froze. It kind of froze at one of a funny part a little bit, and it kind of took away from that funniness. It did a lot. So
we had a malfunction in our
yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Man, Rave, y'all gotta get your shit together, man.
Yeah.
Cinemark, get your shit together, man.
and low key, the Rave, the bridge does that too. It does. It kind of messes up a little. Yeah, in the beginning, it kind of fucks up, and then a few times I've been there, not just one time,
really?
A few times. Yeah, man. It's some with the first movie coming out Thursday night of the first showing of their XD theaters. Something's wrong with that.
Their projectionist is wrong because they're supposed to test that and make sure it runs. They're supposed to do tests to make sure that's when I was working in a movie theater. Yeah. One of the employees would get luckily picked, and they would watch a movie from beginning to end that Wednesday before the film came out that week, and they would watch it. Yeah, everything was good. Sound was good. Sound level, it was clear. No issues. And then they would run it for the. They clearly aren't doing that anymore.
Yeah.
They're not doing that anymore. They're lazy. Yeah. Hello, the projectionists.
And so as far as the last note, as far as Miles goes, I don't read the comics, but I was listening to some of my friends here and there, and they was like he didn't have any swag. You know, he was a bit of a nerd.
In the comics?
Yeah, in the comics, yeah. They kind of twisted his character up a little bit.
They flipped that on his head
in the beginning.
They boost him up.
Yeah, he was kind of a cool kid. You know, he had swag. Clearly, you see the J's. So anybody that wears J's, cool. Yeah, most of the time they're cool people. You know, because they wear J's.
Trendy.
Yeah. But
these pants, my nigga.
But
shout out to these pants.
Shout out to those pants. You look good in them, by the way, bro.
And them thick thighs and that fat ass. Just keep it at 100, my nigga.
Bro, hey,
you can just cop whatever you want to, my nigga. But
matter of fact, we can turn these cameras off right now and get this shit popping now, my nigga. You gonna sound good with that?
What the fuck? No. This is subs, bro. What's up?
All right, back to the review. After the review.
Yeah. So that was kind of flipped, upside down. But on the good side, he grew me. I felt that's a character. Besides him being swaggy, stuff like that, I can relate to because like Spider-Man, he has a whole lot of shit on his plate that he has to juggle, through life and shit. And the fact that they added more Spider-Mans to the movie, because we're used to seeing just Spider-Man and him having to juggle shit in his own life. Now he has to worry about and take care of other Spider-Men and shit from different universes and shit, so he has even more on his plate to deal with. His character arc was kind of in the beginning, and then it grew me. And then the end climactic scene and shit, man, that shit stole the show, man. Like he really grew up in front of our eyes on camera, and I don't know that much about Miles, but it feels like I know him a lot now from this movie, and it makes me want to read his comics and shit because he do seem like a cool Spider-Man.
All right. To that last part.
To that last
part, how you said it wants you to read about Miles. You feel like you know the character. Yeah. That's not who he is.
Okay.
That's not who he is. Like
like besides from him being cool, that they took cool. A lot.
He's not self-confident.
Besides that.
Self-confidence.
What's being cool?
What's being cool?
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. Well, if you have confidence, then you're cool.
So the desire to be a hero?
Yeah, he didn't want that.
Is that going to cool?
No,
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't want to be a hero?
No, he rejected it and he rejected it he rejected it completely and was pushed into it by his best friend, and that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say like this real quick. I'm not gonna say, oh, I read the comic and I'm gonna bash this movie. Nah, it's not about that, because some of the changes that they made actually do work.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring in some contrast real quick. So first, number one, let me go ahead and say that I appreciate the colors, the CG, the crispness, and the motion and all that. I didn't get a headache like I thought I was, so that's a good thing. So
I was afraid of that. I was afraid of like.
I was afraid of that shit too.
Oh man.
That's why I figured these just to grab these just in case, bro. Just in case.
3D glasses.
Hey, I was gonna put them on.
I actually adapted to the motion of the film, and I think a lot of you guys will too. Now, however, if you guys suffer from like seizures or something like that,
in the beginning, that's
I would definitely, and the end, I would definitely say if you suffer from like epilepsy or something, you might want to not skip on this or ask a doctor or something, because go ahead.
Not good job, man.
Oh yeah, I know when I speak, I'm gonna bring shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know that wasn't him in the comics, but you say certain things were changed for the better, right? So you don't think him being more confident?
Some for the better, some for the worse.
Yeah, I'm saying you don't think him being more swaggy, more confident, had more appeal in the movie than him being geeky, nerdy, non-confident, right? So
yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, so
he was a social misfit, man. He didn't know how to socialize with people.
Trying to build
I thought that
I was trying to build a sandcastle to the climax.
Wow, man.
Knock my shit down.
I'm sorry, dude.
Continue. Now you talking?
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
I want to talk.
All right, go ahead and talk.
I've been patiently waiting.
All right, my nigga, go ahead, bro.
Patiently waiting, bro. Dude, I'm sorry.
Patiently been waiting for a track to explode.
I'm sorry.
You weren't waiting when I called up E.
Yeah, I said who want to go first?
Yeah.
You had
You
your
called my name. You should have went
shut.
first. You SpiderMan fan, super.
Hey,
Yeah, that's right, E.
We're all Spider-Man fans here. Sorry, Jody.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
But I like. Yeah.
Sweater on, my nigga. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't cover it up.
No. Yeah, but not like how you are.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, for sure. So
Call it
X, you got it.
Me, dude. I was kind of skeptical about the animation, and then it like grew on me. It did.
Hold on. Can I cut you off real quick?
Yeah.
As you said, you're kind of skeptical on the animation. You were kind of skeptical. Now, at
The
this
freezing part, it was a lag in like,
at this moment, viewers, subscribers of Jody's Corner, go flashback to the trailer reactions about him talking about this is a perfect, flawless looking film. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, the animation, it reminded me of a Telltale Walking Dead game, of like how they did it. Like I was like, fuck, man, this shit is tight. And bruh, if you a Spider-Man fan, you gotta watch this shit. Cause as soon as Peter Parker died
Spoiler.
Oh, fuck my fault.
That's why I was kind of.
But
Edit. I ain't in this shit.
Ain't no edit.
Really?
But dude, it's the fact that
Thanks for going first.
after that,
Not
dude,
this one.
they paid homage to his death, and like I really love that shit, man. I really enjoyed that shit. It was just
No spoilers,
it was
man.
so impactful,
Damn.
man. I felt that shit. It was in my heart, man. I felt
Still
that
talking
shit.
about this.
And-
Fuck you, my nigga.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. And like,
That's crazy.
dude, and like I thought that I thought that the story, it was straight away able from Miles, and then it came back to his character. It came back, dude. He was the main focus of this goddamn film, and I loved it all the way through. So dude, and the fucking humor, bro, that shit was funny. They had some funny parts, man, and like it didn't felt forced. It felt natural. It felt so organic, man. And the colors, man, that shit was so beautiful, man, so beautiful. I really enjoy this film. It captures Spider-Man well, of like everything that he is as a hero. It's just it was iconic, man. Like fuck, like I don't want to say much about the film, but this is a must-see Spider-Man film, man. This is a must-see.
Must see. Highly recommended from X-Files.
Yeah.
Because man,
must see, but
but what a time to be a Spider-Man fan. And we had the game, and now it's the animation shit. This is I love this. I truly did. And
As we knew you would. All right, so E, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, camera 3.
From the most part, from seeing this, you know, it was good. You know, I liked the look, you know, from the beginning when it first started off. I liked the chemistry as they showed in the previews that Peter Parker and Miles ended up having together. You know what I mean? How he was basically being like a big brother to him on that note, being a mentor. I like the part with the confidence with, you know, how one part in it that Miles got an inspiration from someone, and you know how he really loved that person and how he really, you know, stuck with him. You know what I mean? Like that was the person for him to talk to. That was the person that for him to, you know, really, you know, fall on. You know, so for the most part, what I didn't like about this was they made a lot of some of these characters, man, OP, bruh. They made too many characters OP. Way too much, man. I wasn't feeling one particular character.
So some of the characters were just overpowered for you and just
way overpowered.
Okay.
Way
I know you're talking about
overpowered.
too.
And that part didn't make any sense. There's some things too in this movie that Spider-Man was talking about, and that something happened that it's still kind of like it didn't make any sense to me. Like they saying it and then they showing it, but then they showing something else too. It didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? As y'all said, the action was dope. The action was tight. Seeing other little scenes that you guys previously saw in the previews, you know, seeing, you know, Spider-Man, you know, suits and stuff like that they showed in the previews was tight. Seeing little other stuff was sick too. But I do like the fact too, as you said about, you know, Miles, you know, character development, how he made himself become Spider-Man, how he pushed himself, how he had faith, how he, you know, built that courage up in him. Mm-hmm. That was amazing, because that's a lot of people out here that don't have that courage and don't have that, and that they can see that they can become somebody. They can be somebody in the world instead of just feeling like they're not nothing. Now, I do like how they did that speech. That was cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well said, bro. Me, I think that this film was bright, colorful, had all the spectacle. It was all there. And I actually enjoyed myself in this film. I had a really good time watching this movie. I really honestly did. This film was better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect nothing coming into it, though. So my expectations were in check. I didn't expect a garbage movie, so I wasn't expecting it to be trash. But I didn't expect it to be awesome either. So I was kind of neutral when I walked into it. So to know that this film actually pleasantly surprised me is a good thing based on where my reservations were coming in. So that's one thing. So the characters that were introduced in this multiverse, right? You have Spider-Gwen, you saw them, the Peter Porker, the guy that looked like Dick Tracy Spider-Man. Spider-Noir. You had a freaking robot mech, anime character Spider-Man.
I didn't know what
here.
the hell that was. That tripped me out. Like,
Her name was a Penny Parker.
Yeah.
that made no sense to me.
Is that
really a comic book?
So where's the ink, huh?
Trash.
Every Spider-Man in here is from comics.
Yeah.
I
So,
never
yeah.
even heard of her.
Me
neither. So you have Miles and Peter Parker. My favorite out of all the Spider-Man characters was Peter Parker. He was my favorite, more than Miles, because Peter Parker represented the classic sequential superhero. He was seasoned. He knew what to do. He was the mentor. He was the teacher. He was the instructor. He was the character developer of Miles. And Miles was just a lost soul in the beginning. He had good intention, and I was like, okay, he's a little different.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But Peter Parker by far was the best to me. Second best, even though I didn't get much of him, I liked Spider-Noir a lot. I wish I got more of him. And then I like Miles Morales, and then everyone else falls in the line. As far as Peter Porker, they did an excellent job not making that nigga in this movie too much with his stupid comedy and shit that I expected. They gave me just enough
Porker, you said it right.
Peter Porker?
Yeah,
Peter Porker.
That name is corny.
For real.
Fuck.
And I was glad with the way they did it. Every character got their little moment to shine.
Yeah.
The comedy was on point in this movie.
Yeah.
The comedy was up. This is probably this film is the definition of comedy done at the right time and leaving at the right time. Here's the moment, here's the comedy, moving on. You know, it had the moment to do it. The timing was great. So the comedic timing in this film gets an A+ because it was stellar. Some of the villains didn't really care too much about any of the villains, you know. None of them impressed me at all for the most part. So this is really for you. None for me. And if you're thinking about the guy who I think you're thinking about, I wouldn't really call him.
That made no freaking sense.
So I'm gonna go and say this was about the heroes. This is definitely a hero story more than it is a hero beat the villain to win the day. This is more of a finding the journey of a hero to win and to beat the day. You know, like when you discover the hero within, you will succeed in this film. That type of thing.
So you're saying that the villains were just
they were plot devices.
A hero fodder.
They were stepping stones. Exactly. They were stepping stones. They didn't matter.
Yeah,
like they're just stepping stones in the ultimate goal of being the hero.
Yeah, facts.
So as far as his father, Miles' father, it was good bond there. I wish they actually touched on that a little bit more. I wish they actually had a more realistic type of bond. And here's some contrast. In the comic book, they had a real tight bond. You know, they had a real father-son relationship, and it felt real. In this film, it was kind of like pushed to the back burner. Like in the beginning, it was in the forefront. Then for like the whole hour in the middle of the movie, it didn't exist. And then towards the end, it came back and gave you that father-son. So it was kind of like, I wish his father was more of a presence in his life about why he became who he is. But that's okay. So I wish the comic was better in that front. Now the relationship between him and his uncle, Aaron, the comic did it much better. It was more detailed. It was more believable. In this film, it was still good. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't done as well as the comic book. Now, getting to the reason why I think Miles Morales is the third best character in this movie, to me, you could argue he's the third best. I like Spider-Noir better than him, but he's not a character. He didn't have enough depth. There's nothing there.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
So I will go Peter Parker, Uncle Aaron, then I'm going to go Miles as characters who I liked in the film. In the comic book, Miles Morales is an insecure, uncool, nerdy, scared child. He cries a lot. He complains a lot. He doesn't want the forefront. He's a secluse. And in the comic, what alleviated a lot of his woes and a lot of his weaknesses was his best friend, Genki. His best friend, Genki, in the comic book is what told him, no, you got these powers. These are a blessing. You need to be a hero, bro. You're like SpiderMan, dude. Let me buy you the costume. His best friend bought him a costume and told him to put that shit on. His best friend said you should go out there and fight crime and stop hiding in the shadows. His best friend said, you're not a mutant. You're a superhero, bro. You need to be proud of this, dude. This is awesome. He was more excited about his friend getting powers than his friend with the powers. Genki, his best friend, was a vital role in building his character and him even becoming a superhero. In this film, there was no Genki.
What? But was Peter Parker in there when Genki was?
No, he was dead. So
he was gone.
But
So,
Peter Parker
no,
is replaced.
No,
Man of Gank. If you think about it, in this film.
That's what I'm saying.
He is.
So that's what I'm saying. So I know what you're saying, but some things that they changed.
Yeah.
So Peter Parker was in a sense his Genki, right?
No.
No. Okay.
Genki,
Uncle Ben.
Genki is his best friend. Peter
Yeah.
Parker was not his best friend.
Peter Parker was his
But
He
I'm
didn't
taught
feel
him a
the-
lot,
I'm
though.
saying, but
He taught him how to
but-
be. No, he
but
taught
Peter-
him how to be a superhero.
Yeah.
Once he wanted to be a superhero. Once he put on the mask and wanted to be Spider-Man, then Spider-Man taught him, "I'm gonna show you how to be this. Now that you want to be it."
Okay.
Genki was the one who taught him, put on the suit and tried to be it. Spider-Man took on after that and showed him the following way. So Genki did not get replaced by Spider-Man. I'll tell you who Genki got replaced by. He got replaced by Miles Morales. They took Genki and they took Miles and they combined him into one from the comic and gave us this Miles. All the things that
No thanks.
Genki gave Miles in the comic book, they took away and they just innately gave them to Miles, the character in this movie. So the swag, the Jordans, the confidence, the want to be a superhero and all that, that's all Genki.
Genki was
I
the
guess.
swag one. He had swag and shit. Genki.
Genki
Nah,
didn't have
he
swag,
didn't
but he was a nerd, but he was one of the nerds that's down to kick it.
He was a
what do you
boy.
want to do?
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to this party, man. Whatever. We know we're nerds, but let's go. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, he was.
He's one of them motherfuckers.
Wasn't Genki the one that was supposed to have been the one how they did Spider-Man Homecoming? That was supposed to be Miles' boy.
Yeah.
The
Falcon.
Ned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they completely took Genki away. Now, me personally, I like Genki. He was vital to the role. So they took it away and gave it to Spider-Man. Now, as a comic book reader of this story, I'm upset. But looking at it as a whole, as a film, people who are going to see the film, it's better for the film because they're like, Spider-Man's better now. So Spider-Man's not a nerd, a secluse, a weirdo,
That's what I said,
insecure.
yeah.
That's how it becomes a positive.
Yeah.
Because so you're going into the film as a viewer and you're like, oh, Miles is this really cool. He's pretty darn cool. He's so heroic and brave. He's not really that character, but in this film he is. So it's like one of those type of things. They changed a lot of things when it comes. The biggest issue was like the origin. How Miles got his powers in this movie was insane to me.
Yeah,
Like,
that made no
that
sense.
was just like you could have did better than that, my nigga. Like
Yeah.
you really could have did better than that.
That made no sense.
It's just a random act at a random place at a random time that didn't make sense and
That was
Come on,
part.
come on,
that was
bro.
part with when I said before. That some things in here is rushed.
yeah.
A few things are rushed. You know, they could have made a better attempt. You know, make it more believable.
Yeah.
That shit was not. It just seemed like they just copy and pasted every other freaking Spider-Man shit origin or how you got freaking
Yeah.
turns. Like, come on, like at least make it a little bit different. Like, come on.
If I'm Superman and another portal opens, hey, I'm Superman. Oh, you want to do something? I gotta tell you, show you how to do it. Okay, so what do you want me to do? All right, we'll do this. All right, let's do it. Whoa, nigga, hold on. Who is you? What is going on? What? How? What?
Yeah.
It was rushed.
It was
It was fast
You know,
forward.
and you can say, okay, it's kind of rushed, but I could see why they rushed it.
Yeah.
That shit was rushed. It was like rush times 2. that shit was rushed fast as fuck, man. And it kind of took you out. It kind of made you confused.
Yeah.
And so once you watch a film and then you're in this shit, yeah, okay, yes, believable, yeah, and then something happens, like, what? It kind of throws you out of the movie, man, and that's never a good thing. For me, anyways.
Start getting you second guessing, like what the hell? Like,
Yeah. Why?
You shouldn't
why
be
that?
second guessing when you're watching a movie. You should understand it. At least allow yourself to understand it.
Yeah, I can tell a
And it
lot
was
of
no-
time and effort went into the art.
Oh yeah.
I like the
Yeah,
comic
yeah.
book. I like the comic book feel.
The end credits, man, was beautiful, man.
Yeah, oh, yes. Hey guys, stick around for the end credits.
Yeah.
This is the best end credit scene I think I've ever seen that didn't involve being fanboy. Like if you're a Spider-Man fan, or if you're like an Avengers fan and you saw Nick Fury and Iron Man at the tail, nigga, let's keep it 100.
shots.
What they did for the end credit scene really was clever. It was dope, and it was funny. Stick around for the end credit, all the way at the end credit scene. It is worth the wait for sure. Overall, I really like this movie, man. Does anybody have any? Oh, it was flawless, right, for you?
No, I mean, it had some flaws.
Do you have any?
It was kind of rushed. I didn't like that. You know, like they just, they kind of wrapped it up, you know, fast on like certain parts, you know.
How comic accurate was this movie to you?
It wasn't accurate at all.
Alright, well. Now what do you think about that? How does that make you feel?
But that makes some.
Is it what you thought it was gonna be?
Changes, to the character.
Yeah.
And the uncles. So like I was like, okay, I understand. Cause
You think the changes they made to the uncle were better than the comic?
no, I like the comic a lot better.
Right. Me too.
Because like it's an hour and what, 20 minutes film?
Nah, that felt like 2 hours.
2 hours?
That felt like 2 hours.
Y'all?
It felt like 2 hours
That
to
shit
me.
felt long to me. That shit
Yeah,
felt
that
long.
shit felt long.
Yeah, it felt kind of long.
And when no Disney 1 hour and a half movie, nah, it was like a 2 hour film, bro.
Yeah. It was really that movie was going
For the film, and another thing, this is weird how I'm going to describe this real quick.
Okay.
I enjoyed this movie. It was a spectacle. I had a blast watching it. I'll never watch it again. I don't have a
I
desire
concur that.
to go through that again. I don't want to experience all that again. I don't want to see the multiverse again. I don't want to go through him trying to find out if he's Spider-Man, the Kingpin. I don't want to ever watch this movie again. That's weird. And that's the exact same thing I said about Homecoming. I saw Homecoming that one time. I don't want to watch it again.
No. Well, you don't like Spider-Man.
No, nigga, what?
Uh.
Spider-Man 1 and 2, replay.
Oh, fuck.
Replay. I love Spider-Man 1 and 2. Even to this day, 17 years later.
I feel that Spider-Man 1 and 2, especially 2,
Everybody said that this movie is, for the reviews, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
I could say
What do you think about that?
Spider-Man 3 and newer, yes. But Spider-Man 1 and 2, yeah, that's cream of the cream.
Yeah.
No, it's not. If anything, we can rank them. Spider-Man, for me, Spider-Man 2.
I'm with you.
Spider-Man 1.
I'm with you. Do it.
The Amazing Spider-Man 1. I like that one. I like that one.
I like that one.
I like that one.
I like that one.
Action, I mean, he was.
Yeah,
he
I
was
like-
Spider-Man.
I
but-
love
That
Amazing
story,
Spider-Man.
And then the fourth one,
Hey Toby.
Spider-Verse. To me, that's the fourth one. And then Spider-Man
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
Perfect.
Spider-Man Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then Spider-Man 3.
All right. I'm close. I'm Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, this film,
Okay.
Homecoming,
Wow.
Amazing Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's what I had too.
Okay.
That's what I had too.
Amazing Spider-Man is a
First
better
one.
Spider-Man than than Tom Holland.
Yeah.
He's better.
He's way better.
But those movies are so bad, my nigga. It's like I want to root for him, bruh. But this is some stupid shit in those Amazing Spider-Man movies, man.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is better than Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But Tom Holland is better than Peter Parker than friggin' Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Whatever be.
I agree.
So
But it's about who you care about.
It's even.
It's not even, not to me. I care about the hero. Freak the alternate identity.
Okay, so
I care
Well,
about both of them.
I'm a Superman fan, my nigga. Clark Kent is tight. I like him. But if I'm a pick, it's easy win for Superman.
But they focus on the hero.
It's not the same, though.
No,
It's not the same.
yeah.
It's the
It's
same.
not the same.
Well, how is it not the same? It's like a Batman Bruce Wayne.
Peter Parker and Spider-Man are
Yeah.
like so different.
Yeah.
Clint Carter and Superman, they're different, but they're not
different.
Spider-Man tell jokes. Peter
They're
don't.
not as different as Peter Parker and Spider-Man to me.
All right, to you, I respect that. But Superman and Clark Kent are more different than Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
They look just the same. It's just a confidence thing.
The whole entire attitude is different. The whole entire personality.
That's the thing. Just the attitude. Everything else is the fucking the same.
Are you talking about physically? Then yeah.
No. I mean, the only thing.
Their whole persona is different. The whole character is different.
Yeah, when Parker got on the mask, he was a totally different person. compared to
One's
his,
confident, one's not. One's clumsy, one's swaggy. One's brave, one's scary. It's the opposite.
He make himself clumsy.
Exactly to hide who he is. Exactly. He is the exact opposite of Superman.
Superman do
and
the
that's
same
what
thing.
makes it a good.
Superman make himself clumsy. He fall, do all the type of stuff
Yeah.
to hide his character.
He's a goofball.
So you won't know who he is.
But just know it's not fair. Like when if I see Clint Carter and Superman in the room, And they walk around and shit. Okay, he clumsy and shit.
This nigga gonna be falling over the shrimp, man.
I mean, but
Lois, I get holding her coat in person shit when Superman over there
Clark
get a
fell-
scoop and shit taking pictures.
Clark would have fell all in the movies. Oh snap!
Yeah, real talk.
But let some shit go
They're-
down. Let some shit go down.
That's the definition of
Ouch.
definition of
bro.
separate. But that's my shit. Like Amazing Spider-Man, I want, but Homecoming is just, it checks the boxes of filmmaking more than Amazing Spider-Man. But Amazing Spider-Man has so much more Spider-Man awesomeness there.
Yeah.
If you ask me,
I like it.
better movie, I'll say Homecoming. What movie I would rewatch and see? Both the Amazing Spider-Mans before Homecoming, my nigga.
Agree.
100, bro. If I have a choice, I'm the last movie I'm gonna pick is at Homecoming, bro. Spider-Man 3, I'm gonna watch that shit again.
Hey, I watched Spider-Man 3 like
It gets better, bro.
2 months
Hate
ago.
Spider-Man 3. Man,
Bro, go watch it
I
again.
don't like that shit, bro.
When he was doing all this and shit.
Spider-Man 3 got a lot of hate, but
Like,
nigga,
bro,
it's not
like,
that
that makes
bad.
no sense, bro.
That fight, the fights between Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, and
Lit.
Peter Parker,
Lit.
that was a good fight scene.
Well
man.
executed.
It's a
Lit,
good fight
bro.
scene, man.
Yes, lit.
The action, I go by. The action was tight.
Everything,
The
man.
story-
Everything. Story 2 was good
Nah,
too.
man,
Story,
I wasn't feeling that.
story was kind of
man.
good too, bro. Story was kind of cool, bro.
It was
Hey,
Okay.
they didn't rush Venom and shit like that, man.
Yeah.
But
But Venom was bad.
Spider-Man
Fuck.
gets a bad rap because of Venom.
So y'all
Yeah,
was feeling
Venom-
So y'all like when he was
Emo
dancing and
Spider-Man.
shit?
huh?
Y'all like when he was dancing and
That's
shit?
the emo
No.
Spider-Man that people don't like.
No.
If you take away the emo weird Spider-Man with the Venom shit, and if you take away anything Venom in the film, it's the third best Spider-Man movie of all time.
And it took me back to Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse. They did a lot of paying homage to the previous films.
That was dope.
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
I
felt
remember
good.
that.
It felt good to
Yeah.
see one scene. No spoilers. In the previous movie, it happened a little bit differently, but in this film, it was like
It was totally different. Yeah.
it was totally different. Like,
why'd you do that?
this is what should have happened.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And this is the most comic book. This shit,
Influenced.
Yeah.
it looked like a comic book
Wow.
on
Yeah.
screen. It had the friggin' pow, pow, boom. Had the friggin'
Yeah.
people thinking the shit. You can read what they're thinking and everything.
Yeah.
They like it. Just it pops out as a comic book
Meanwhile,
on
in
screen.
Queens,
When they
had
talk- when they
all-
talk in
yeah,
words
whole
and stuff
time-
like- yeah.
It was nice. Dude.
Yeah, yeah,
And
man.
they actually did their homework on Spider-Man. They did that shit. Fuck.
By any means, this is not a bad Spider-Man film at all.
No.
Yeah.
And-
nah.
It's better than Homecoming.
And it's from Sony too. And Sony has a bad route with Marvel movies and shit like that.
Not
So,
when it comes to Spider-Man. They got the best Spider-Man movies.
I mean, but
Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Marvel only has
And
Homecoming.
they effed up.
Just saying.
They effing
So
up.
he had more chance with Spider-Man than Marvel did.
All right, so far MCU Spider-Man look weak. That Homecoming look weak, and that Far From Home look weak too. So if they come out with 2 MCU Spider-Man movies,
Let's
Let's
give it Spider-Man Civil War. Let's give it. He's in Marvel too, bro. Like it's not his own movie, but in Civil War, that nigga was that nigga.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
He took on
was.
Cap, my
He
nigga.
was.
He's that nigga, my
he
nigga.
was that nigga in action scenes.
He took on.
There's more to a good Spider-Man film than just being cool with action.
Bro.
Because Andrew Garfield
Peter Parker
is that nigga.
Yeah.
But Peter Parker won that nigga. The character won that nigga, but
Peter Parker wasn't that nigga in Civil War. We didn't even see Peter Parker. We saw him in
We
the...
seen him-
I'm Spider-Man.
we seen him.
In the room?
We seen him. We seen him fucking
what is that?
with Ant Man shit. Like
That
we
was
seen
nothing.
him.
What was that? That's you can't
I'm-
just what was that? It was just quippy.
that was little
comedy.
clips. That was a clip. Little
Yeah,
That's Spider-Man.
that was
That's
mostly
Peter Parker.
that was mostly
That's
Tony
Peter
Stark making us laugh.
Yeah.
That's Peter Parker. though,
Spider-Man,
like-
you know,
And
Spider-Man-
Civil War, and Civil-
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
That was Tony Stark doing that. In Civil War, you didn't get the glimpse of who Peter Parker was. You got epic Spider-Man.
All you heard was on the roof. That's it.
yeah.
It was Homecoming was Sony, right?
It was MCU. It was
It-
both of them.
It was
It was
yeah,
both.
It's a collaboration.
It was both.
I
It was
don't
both.
blame,
It was both.
Of
What I'm
course
saying,
I know. I know.
what I'm saying was,
That was an
man.
MCU
just
film.
because Sony had that Spider-Man Homecoming, it messed them up. But when it was all Marvel and Civil War, we could see how that nigga really is.
Yeah, he had
So-
everything.
It's Sony's fault, not Spider-Man's fault.
Well, Sony
So
owns
is that
Spider-Man.
fair?
Sony
Is that
owns
fair?
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Sony's fault.
So it's
That's
Sony's
why.
fault.
Not
It's
Disney's
all the
fault.
way through.
Exactly.
Okay, you mean it's Sony's fault, not Disney's fault?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
That's fair.
So Marvel,
No.
so Marvel had nothing. You said
No,
Marvel,
it's
it's not
not
Marvel
fair.
at all.
But
It's
Sony
Sony
has a lot of
Mar-
power.
because Marvel had
Sony has
Marvel-
a lot of power
Marvel-
over.
How long are we gonna use Civil War as the template for what Marvel did with Spider-Man? That's just my nigga. They're
Power
releasing
set
two
everything,
movies.
my
They're
nigga.
releasing 2 movies, so we're gonna blame Sony for all of them? When does the MCU get the blame? They're never gonna release a Tom Holland MCU only Spider-Man movie. Sony will always be tied to it.
When they do, then that's when we get the real Spider-Man, my nigga.
Yeah, agree. Yeah.
When they do.
Agree with
Hey,
that.
hey,
Agree.
hey,
Y'all kill me,
before
bro.
Marvel came.
Y'all kill me, man.
As long as Sony has his hands in freaking Spider-Man's
Web,
web, my
my
nigga.
stew.
As long as they got their hands in that nigga freaking web,
Yeah.
It's
it's
some
gonna be
nice shade in
issues.
the stew.
It's gonna be issues,
All
bro.
right.
And
The long night.
Hey, if I got a full movie freaking Civil War Spider-Man, nigga will always have me freaking come shots, my
That's
nigga.
just action.
And to keep it 100, bruh, man, Sony keeping Spider-Man, my nigga. He
Yeah,
ain't
real
going
shit.
nowhere.
He ain't going
nowhere.
Give me my love,
He
bro.
ain't going nowhere,
Give
man.
me my love
It's
for
official.
Give me my love for I freaking
Shake
choke
you,
you
nigga.
out, nigga.
Yeah,
He ain't going
I got one
nowhere.
too.
He ain't going nowhere, man.
He's not.
He's staying there.
So that's why-
Sony
that
making
Venom
money.
shit,
Sony
over that
making
Venom
money.
shit and
Congratulations.
now with the animation.
Just like I told you, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Don't go
he's
watch
staying.
Venom. Yo, watch Venom. You gave it
Yeah.
$800, $900 million. Guess
Yeah.
what? Now Sony ain't never going to the MCU,
Yeah,
my
he ain't
nigga.
never.
Sony got that nigga on lock, bro.
He got him on
Ain't
lock.
Sony doing
It's a wrap.
Bright, right?
Ain't no-
Brightburn?
Yeah.
That movie gonna make money, bro. When that movie make money, come on, Spidey.
Yeah, bro.
Come on,
It's already come on Spidey. After this Far From Home, bro.
That's it.
They better
And
not,
they doing
man.
Craven now and fucking more.
Yeah, bro.
They about to.
Morbius too, man.
Yeah,
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 they might
right,
be-
why
They're
not?
gonna probably kill more
That
of
nigga's
these.
been dormant on freaking Morbius.
That
That
shit's
shit's
crazy,
been dormant.
man. And like,
They not gonna
fucking
get the story
Sony,
right,
man.
bro.
No, but people actually supported Sony and they gave them their money for fucking Venom.
We just supported them tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this.
I'm-
right.
Well, we're taking-
I would give them my money. I would
We
give them my
can't, we
money.
can't not go
today.
to the movies just because it's Sony,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's going kind of hard. I mean, at least you have some fucking vendetta for this shit. Like, look, I ain't going to this movie.
You buy a ticket for another movie, then go watch this.
Bootleg that shit.
But all we like this film. How would you rate the movies, X-Files?
I give it a B plus.
Oh, that's your grade.
Yes.
a
B
fair grade.
plus.
That's a fair grade.
That is fair grade.
Fair.
All right, so E, do you have a grade for this movie?
Yep.
What?
It was very enjoyable. It was cool. But I give this movie a C.
Mediocre. I'm between these two motherfuckers. I give it a B. What you give it?
A B plus. B plus, bro.
B plus B, B plus C. So, those are our grades. Let's rank them. Me and HC3 ranked them. Can you rank the Spider-Man movies, X?
Yeah. Spider-Man 1.
Whoa. Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
nigga. I'm positive. Spider-Man 1, 2, and then Spider-Verse, and then it's the rest. They fall in line. I don't really care.
All right, for sure.
That's all that matters.
All right, so this one knocked Homecoming out of the way for all of us.
Yeah, great.
E, how would you rank the movies?
I hate this man.
I hate
this man.
I hate this.
Do it.
Spider-Man 2, because it was so bomb with Doc Ock, bruh.
Yeah.
She was sick.
You Andrew Garfield like it, motherfucker. He hates Toby.
Spider-Man 3!
Oh!
No. Spider-Man 2, the 3?
Yeah.
All
You
right.
got 3 in second? Oh,
Amazing Spider-Man
Oh,
and Spider-Man 2 and the others. Yeah.
you left out Spider-Man 1. Where does that one?
Yeah.
Fuck!
Man, I'm trying to get rid of him, man!
Let's start over.
please. This shit's fucking congealed.
How do you rank these movies? Remember Spider-Man 1 and 2. So we have Spider-Man 2 with Dr.
Spider-Man 2.
Octopus. Spider-Man 1 had Green Goblin. Spider-Man 3 with the Sandman and Venom. Then you had Amazing Spider-Man with
I don't
Andrew
like
Garfield.
Toby, man. I really don't like Toby, but the movies was tight. I hate Toby.
You can hate Toby all you want, bro. There's lots of characters that I hate, but their movies are awesome.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. 2. Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing Spider-Man.
The first one?
The first one.
Okay.
Sound like me.
I like the second. I like the second one as well too. I
Okay.
like the second one.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Ew, that was doing too much.
Now what? Homecoming or this movie?
Homecoming.
So this is the worst Spider-Man movie for you.
Yes.
Got you.
Ah.
All right, well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is the spoiler-free review for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'd like to thank you all for... Oh, you want to go ahead?
You almost got us. You almost got us.
What you mean?
You said this was the worst Spider-Man movie, but yet when we said Spider-Man 3 was actually getting good, you bashed that shit.
I hate Toby, man.
He hates Toby.
So shouldn't this one be ahead of Spider-Man 3? If you hate Toby because
still
he's
think
Spider-Man 3?
you still think it's a good
story
movie?
was cool, bro. Like I enjoyed Spider-Man 3 a lot, but I hate Toby.
I mean, I like
But you
Sam.
said Spider-Man 3.
I think he had an anime cowl face on his now, brother. Why not? I was not thinking why.
I hate Toby, bro. I love the Amazing Spider-Man, bro. I love how they did it, how they broke it
You have a
down
different
like
opinion
that.
for Spider-Man. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
that's right.
It throws a wrench in there.
You
Like
know?
we're different.
You know?
All
Gotta
right.
be different. You know?
Yeah.
Smoke.
Smoke this guy. Smoke.
So you gave it a B plus.
I gave it a B plus.
I think you thought this movie was going to be A plus though. So you were a little bit disappointed.
I wasn't disappointed.
I was
Just,
very
you know,
disappointed.
It didn't live up to your expectations. Obviously, you thought it was going to be an A plus movie.
I mean, it did in a way. I mean.
Okay, well it did in a way. That's what
You know they
your
cut out a
grade
lot of
reflects
different scenes in this movie that we didn't see. Like you saw Miles running and he rained on a cab and stuff like that. They didn't show those scenes.
Well,
They didn't show. They cut out a lot of different shit in this movie.
Because the same way when he was jumping through the buildings and then he was like to his master.
Yeah.
He was up on the freaking building, but
Yeah.
in,
I mean, they
in the
still
movie,
showed it, yeah, but it was like
he was somewhere
different.
else.
Yeah.
So the trailers always show things that may
Trickery.
not be in the movie.
Trickery.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
That's
All
wild.
right, so that's our review for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, spoiler-free edition. Put down your comments. I know a lot of you motherfuckers is gonna have a lot to say about this film. Once again, B plus, B plus, C, and yeah. So this movie beats Homecoming out for the third best Spider-Man movie. And
Yeah, that's the third best.
Third best. Me, fourth best.
Just the fourth best for you.
Third best.
You had Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
Main Spider-Man 1 was tight, bro.
Okay,
First
so that's
one,
it.
yeah.
Comment section. Subscribe to the channel for that real content. That's HC3 The Dark Side. Marvel X Files The Question. That's my man E. Green Arrow. I'm Jody Joe. And we are 4 parts of the Just Us League. And we out this thing, man. Deuces.
Deuces.